Friday. It's Friday. I love Friday. The only thing better than Friday is Saturday. Because Saturday you get the whole day, at least I do, to do whatever the hell you want. And Friday I get the evening, but I get that feeling, that good feeling that tomorrow is all mine. And the night is mine. Go to bed when I want to, even though I'll probably go to bed at the same time I usually do. But just knowing that I could go to bed later and there's no comeuppance, I love that. I'm a middle-aged man, and I still get happy about being able to stay up as late as I want. And I just fall asleep at the same time anyways, which is ironic. Hey, I'm making a game. That game is called the Godkiller. And I've been doing pretty good for weekday nights after, the day job and everything, biting off a big chunk and getting it chewed. The last 2 days was definitely that, an L demo to this game. The Godkiller. Here's the boot scene. I'm going to demo this little bit of new functionality here. And I figured out one thing, which is this splash screen is not valuable to me. In fact, I'll just make a quick fix here right now. Nah, let it be. Okay, I'll hit the play button, and this splash screen, we're not going to see it anymore. It's just going to start out black screen with some text on it, and that's it. Do I have my maximize? I do not have it. Okay, hold on. It'll go in. Well, okay, right here. Okay. So the thing that I got done over the last 2 days and fixed all the bugs with was mid-level save. So if you happen to go exploring deep into a level and then it gets a little late for you and you got to go to bed because it's not Friday, it's Tuesday, and you got to go to work tomorrow and be up at 6 a.m. And you're like, okay, I want to keep playing, and there's the exit right there, and I figured out the level, but I don't want to continue right now, so let's just exit out. Okay. It says, exit the Godkiller, all progress will be saved. Used to say, exit the Godkiller and abandon your game and have to start over from the beginning of the level, or something like that. Does not say that now. Saves your place in the level. Okay, now I'll do my maximize on play. And I'll hit the play button. If you want to do a proper demo, you want to maximize. You want to maximize the space it shows within. So that's what that clicking on the button is for. Okay. It's gonna, okay, one moment. All right. Now here's the cool thing. Yeah, okay, it came back and it put me right where I left off. I did not have to write any code that saved the state of the level itself in this save restore functionality, which can be quite difficult. Okay, you'd have to say in that case, I'm going to save this block is here, this block is here, this block is here, the player position is here. On some levels, there are countless things that can be in different positions and rotations, and to write a general purpose save that just stores all the positions of things that change within the level, a game like this, it's daunting. It's possible, but it's very daunting. What I do instead is save, here I'll show you. Okay, I save this information. If you can see way down at the bottom of the screen, some tiny characters here. There's about maybe 30-40 characters. Each one is the command issued from the start of the level. Okay, so I made some moves within the level. I came to this point in the game. When I do a restore, I'm really restoring the starting state of the level, which is the same as just loading a level from scratch, or loading a level with nothing added to it. I play back the commands, but I play them back really fast. I don't play them in normal game time. And all the updates to the game state and to the visuals that you see are performed while the screen's black. So it's got that black screen over the top, and there's a little pause measured in maybe a few hundred milliseconds, something like that, and it plays back all those commands, it updates all the positions of things, and there it is. And it doesn't take long. It was easy to code. I literally put in a couple of days, let's even say 6 hours, and debugged it, and it seems to be pretty robust now. Works like a champ. So yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. I want to move on though. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's do something ambitious today. My next problem I'm thinking about is death. Showing death in the game. Let me go to a different level and I'll show you the basic problem that I want to solve. So it takes a while in this game before you're actually able to die, because most of the early levels are contrived, no COVID, to make it so that you can't actually die. So the first one is this that you can actually die on. It's called Treachery Bridge. I do need to put some level scripting on it to make the characters do things inside of it and things like that. But all right, Treachery Bridge. There I started from the very beginning, no mid-level state. Okay, so I'll go kill myself. There's some clues that you're dying. These pink squares, reddish pink, depending on what the background color against them is, they indicate a prediction, which is always true, of what will happen if you happen to move in that direction. So if I move west, far down below you can see a little skull down there around the spikes. That's telling me you move west, you're going to die. You're going to die down the spikes. Maybe that's what you want to do in this game. Sometimes you do want to die. But that's what will happen. Come over here. Similar thing. This is actually done, by the way, by playing an extra hidden copy of the game for each of the 4 directions that you might move and seeing what the result is. So there can be complicated situations and it's still going to figure out, okay, here's what will happen when you die. And it's always right. So when I actually make the move, I'm instantly teleported back over to here. But it doesn't really explain to me how I died very well. And you could say, well, just show the player falling onto the spikes and being reborn. Somebody texting me. I get it. I do that for some things, not all things. So if there's a long drop off into nothingness, I've got an animation that shows you kind of flailing around for a few seconds. I'm glad I put that there, but I mean, there are some hard things to solve if I decide to show an animation of you dying. Things that are sort of built into the mechanics of the game. So I'm thinking right now of some alternate ways of showing the death. In this session, I'm not sure if I'll get it fully implemented. I haven't decided what to do yet. So you're going to, maybe if you stick around in this, you're going to hear me mulling over some different options. And then I'll probably make some progress towards one of them. Or I might just say, screw it, I'll do something else. But the first part of this session, at least, will be me just mulling over some different options. Okay, so I'm going to list them out. Give the player a better idea of how they died. And this next one I got to think about a little bit, but let me just put it down provisionally. Don't slow down the restart. The rebirth. So I think I should be a little more open-minded. Let's include this as one of the options. Okay. So let's say one option. Visually depict the death. Okay. Now I'm not totally devoid of any depiction of the death. There are some things that happen. I could say, let me list out some of the ways you can die. Land on spikes, fall out of bounds, spikes land on you, axles. There's this thing that rotates around that can have spikes attached to it. Okay. But let's list the different ways you can get spiked. Let's say fall on spikes, walk onto spikes, fling onto spikes, slip over ice and onto spikes. Okay. Fall out of bounds. Okay, other ways you can die. Creature crushes you. A lot of these are combos too. Let me first say the primary ways of dying, or direct ways of dying. Okay. Fall on spikes, walk on spikes, fling on spikes. Take this out. This is a combo thing. Creature pushes you against wall. Creature lands on top of you. Fall onto altar. Walk onto altar. Fling onto altar. Okay, combos. Say slip over ice to X. X could be falling and then you fall on the spikes, or it could be directly onto the spikes, or you could slip into an altar. Okay. Get pushed to, yeah, I don't need to write X after each one. Okay. There was some other ones. Okay. The letter bridge opens underneath you and fall to like that. Okay. this level is an example of the last one. When I have the level scripting in, Billy over here will come over and stand over here. He'll push that block so that it opens the bridge when you're on top of it, and you'll fall down onto the spikes. And you'll be like, why'd he do that? He's mean. Okay. Did I miss any? I'm sure I missed one or two. But that is an idea. For these, it would be like I'll call it real time for now. So there are like two types of time in this game. There's let's say stepping time and real time. Or maybe stepping time and continuous time. So if you look at this effect here of like all those little white particles shooting up, that's happening in continuous time, as are some of these animations. There's this idea that that's all ephemeral. It doesn't really matter. The truth of the world is all inside of stepping time. So this dude here, he's gonna move when I move. Right now he's not programmed to move at all. Let me go to another level where it shows stepping time better. Let's see, let's go up to Sacred Lawns. That's the first one where we've got beards, an enemy for you to deal with. Okay, so they're just going to stand around until I walk on the grass and they get upset. Alright, so here's what I mean by stepping time. They only move when I move. Now there's the animations which happen in continuous time for just idling, but they're not actually making any impactful changes to the level. Like, they're not moving towards me, they're not doing anything that will affect me, they're just animated to fiddle around a little bit with their arms and sway. Just a basic idle animation. Alright, there's more continuous time animation here. And then there is one character that seems like he could impact you, that is always in continuous time, and that is a character named God. And I'll show you God. In this game, actually, continuous time events do not impact you at all. Hey, Z. That's the truth. It's not like, say Braid, where... how do I get back up there? Let me kill myself. There you go. Alright, so these hands up here... Oh, I guess they're not moving around. Okay, these hands, let's see, let me go to a different level. They'll move around. They'll move all over the place, and it seems like they could do things that will impact you, but not really. So anything that's just kind of moving around in continuous time it's only story or atmosphere. It's not impacting you as a player of the game. It's not impacting whether you succeed or fail or what you must do to get past the level. So it's only stepping time that matters. That's why it's a little bit hard to come up with the right way to show death here. Alright, so let me get the hands moving. To do that, I just got to get a little further in the level. A little glitch there in the stairs. Alright, here we go. So the hands are moving all over the place. It seems like it's very important to worry about these hands, but the truth is they're like background. Okay. Everything else that matters is in stepping time. So Billy's over there. He's got an animation playing where he cowers, but he's just waiting there. And he will wait there until I get to a certain square. Okay, now he's running away. He's running away, but he stops. He waits for me to move. As soon as I move, you can hear the sound of my key click. That's when he moves. Okay. Back to this. Instead of saying real time, I'll say continuous time. Slow it down. Then after a second or three, go back to stepping time conventions. Okay. So I did one type of death that uses this continuous time depiction. Let me go to another level that allows me to demonstrate that. Okay. So on this one there is a hole that goes out of bounds. So you can fall down there, you'll fall too far. Alright, so that was a continuous time animation. But for the most part, all of these things, there'll be like a little particle effect that gets output when you step on these spikes, but you'll already be over at the egg before you can even see those particles. So this suggests to me one approach that is pretty practical and would help. Keep camera at point of death. F player press the key to be reborn. Okay. And I do use this approach for one of the deaths, which is if you run out of moves, you can't move in any direction. Oh, I should add that up above. Okay. Some other options. Show a chalk outline at point of death. like some kind of like a silhouette of a laid out corpse, chalk outline, like I don't literally mean like a chalk outline, but I mean like this kind of movie cliche where you have like a outline of the place where the corpse was at a murder scene. You could show that, have it fade over time. Say number 3B, same, but have it fade, disappear when you walk near it, when you are near it. So in the second case, 3B, if you got killed and you're reborn, like on the far side of the level, when you walk over and the outline is in the camera's view, then it would dissipate, fade away, whatever, after you had a chance to see it. Okay, number 4 option. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh, I wish I could have captured that. So in front of me there's a window. It's on the 3rd story of my house, and a little flock of sparrows or some very small bird just like flew by. It was like really cool. Real world particle effect. Okay, show an icon or 2D image that indicates type of death. Okay, so those are some ideas. I'm going to add a requirement up above. No, I'll let it be a con. Okay. So if we say keep the camera at point of death, minus will give away some secrets. I mean, sometimes you don't want the place where the player died to be shown to them. It's actually suspenseful. I can give you an example of that. So there's this thing that's set up kind of like a fortress, and there are blocks being thrown out of it. And whenever you walk by one of the doorways, a block comes out. If you happen to be staying around there, you'll get knocked by the block into the spikes. So if you step over this path, you got to keep going and let the block pass by you, whizzing behind your back just as you step away. If you go straight down, okay. So it seems like every single doorway into this fortress is guarded by these block things that throw out from the open doorways. But there's one here that's not. Okay. You could say, let's fling into it. You died. Now, this is a secret that I spent 2 levels setting up. It's a great moment in the game. Because in the past level, there was like just one little station with 4 doorways coming out of it, and you couldn't tell anything about the mechanics of how the blocks came out or anything like that. You couldn't see inside of it. And this is like a big version of the same thing. Now, if you do manage to get inside, there's quite a surprise waiting for you. I'm going to spoil it for whoever's on here right now. I'm just going to go ahead and show what you see. If you don't want to see it, just come back to 2 minutes. I gotta spell this word key, so it'll put some solid blocks here that allow me to stop inside instead of go flinging through. Now I'll go in the building. We'll see for the first time. Okay, you're inside this bright yellow room, and there's these dudes inside, and they are your tormentors. They've been pushing these blocks out of you. So it occurs to me when I do this, this isn't actually a good example of ruining a secret, because the thing that actually kills you is not inside of this room. When these blocks are not here and you fling from the west to the east, you're actually continuing along this path to the east side, and there are spikes over here that kill you. So that wasn't a good example. I'm kind of glad I checked up on it. Yeah. Maybe nothing important. Yeah. Okay, this one's looking better to me. Plus, use the code. Would put the camera at an intermediate spot that's currently being skipped. That one, I might want to code it in this session and just try it and see where I'm at with it. It's not a bad option. Okay. Plus, best opportunities for dramatic deaths. So if I want to add in animations that show the player getting destroyed in different ways, I could do it that way. Minus slows down game. Slows down gameplay. So if you've seen these death animations a bunch of times, you don't really want to wait around for them. So let's say I'll keep them really short, maybe 1 second, things like that. That's not bad. But lingering on it at all is counter to the spirit of the game, because goes against spirit of purposefully dying as means of teleporting. So sometimes when you die, you're surprised and you're like, what? Huh? And that little reset is fine. You know, it's not bothering you that much. Other times it's like, okay, here's an example. The only way to get up and out of here on these spikes, or the only way to get out of this lower level and back up the top, is to purposefully die in these spikes. And you might just say, okay, let's die. And you just you move right on to your next task. you kind of don't care that you died. It was a teleport. And this game is meant to move as fast as your brain. Not slower, not faster, same speed. It's got a snappy feel because there's been no compromise with that. When the player walks to another square, there's no animation actually showing the movement into that square. There's like a residual animation that shows what's already happened. So there's a trail behind you, and there's sort of a settling into the current square, but you're already there as soon as you press the key. There's just a little bit of settle, and there's that trail. It really shows where you've been more than it shows where you're going, because you're already there. So to compromise that, to slow down the game, to say, oh, let's show, you know, M crumpling over the spikes and seeing them puncture through her. Not that I mind goriness, but an interruption in what the player wants to do, I don't like that. Okay. Kind of fun. You know, just saying, look, I died over there. You could even have some variations on it where there's multiple chalk lines all over the place, and they could stick around, and it could almost be like, how many places can I kill myself kind of a thing. Yeah. A bit confusing, I'll say. Just meaning, like, you see an outline of a corpse. What does that mean to you? Does that have some mechanic attached to it? Does it affect the level in some way? Like, can you go there and collect some, you know, spirit juice or something from your past death? Or, you know, what is it? What's it for? What is it for? That might be the impression somebody gets. Another bad thing is can reduce clarity around other objects in same spot. So if I draw, you know, like a outline here, it'll, if it's going to be true to the dimensions of the character, it would extend outside of this square a little bit. I would probably draw it in the same color as these guide things, just because it would, that color red is supposed to tie in with M, the character you control. I suspect it would maybe like make the thing underneath it 25% harder to figure out what it is. Kind of in the same way as, like, if I go here and there's a death face over the top of these spikes, that makes it maybe 50% harder for you to figure out what's there. But I'm accepting of it because it's pretty easy to walk around and then it disappears. And it's only when you come to a stop that stuff overlays. With the corpse marker, I'd have to keep it around long enough for you to notice it at least, or maybe with one of the options just delay removing it for maybe 5 seconds or something like that. So I think it's confusing. It's making things not clear. It doesn't get a plus or a minus for difficulty of coding. This definitely gets a minus. I'm going to give it 2 minuses for, let's see, effort in coding. Okay, I'm going to give this one 2 pluses because this really should be pretty easy. Okay, this last one it's got about the same advantages. I'm going to put these back together. Or when you are near it. Alright, so for this one, it's like if you got killed by spikes, then there'd be some kind of icon, or maybe like a graphic novel style illustration. Shows you like falling on some spikes, or basically all these things. You could picture like an image that's shown. You fall on spikes, you walked into them, they just kind of slice right through you, your abdomen or whatever. Fling onto them, you could show a different kind of icon or graphic indicating that you just flung onto them, falling out of bounds. There's actually a continuous animation that does most of the work there. Continuous time animation. All these things could have some stylized depiction of what exactly killed you. There's even like maybe for the combos, there could be some thought given to all the different ways that you might end up getting to one of these direct ways of dying, and have stylized images to show that as well. Whether it be like, there's one image where you slipped on the ice, just almost picture like say a graphic novel or a comic book, old school comic book, where you got different panels. The first panel, slip on the ice. Second panel, spikes through your face. So that could be fun. That's the plus on it. Kind of fun. Opportunities for humor. I won't even say kind of fun. I'll say, yeah, it'll be fun. The one above I think is kind of fun. This one I think is fun, because you can have some nice stuff there. Can be used to show what M looks like better. I don't really want cutscenes in this game. I don't want like the camera to get close in on the M. Let me see if I can give an example. Where the hell is the level? Where are you at? Okay, there we go. Jesus. Why does Unity insist on putting the camera so far away when I go into that window? Okay. So she is 3D wise, she's very simple. So there's not much call for getting close to her. She was designed to be low poly and simple. Okay. So if I want to have like a more detailed or dramatic version of her, you would most easily be accomplished with supplemental artwork. So this is an opportunity to do that. I don't like cutscenes. I'll give you an example of a cutscene in a similar type of game. Let's see. Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's not even. It's actually the type of transition that I'm much better with. If I can find an example of it. So the main game is this grid-like thing where you're hopping around and doing different things. Here it is. Here's one. So this is about the most I would ever want to do for a cutscene, and it's not even a proper cutscene. It's like more of a splash screen. As you transition to a boss level, it'll show a screen coming up very briefly. As soon as you hit a key, it's gone. For these different bosses, And then finally you get to see some nice artwork that shows what these guys look like. It's an opportunity to show the characters a little better. I guess, you know, same for this stuff here. You get some nice comic-y art. And suddenly the little dude in the screen gets an extra dimension to him. Instead of this little dude here, you can see like, oh, it's actually, I guess it's a lady. She's got boobs, got long blonde hair. She looks kind of tough, and but not real tough. Like maybe she's in trouble a bit, you know. So there's a little bit of story that got given to you as a player by just seeing this artwork here. If I have an icon or 2D image that pops up when you die, I can show artwork like that. I know the people I want to talk to make artwork like that. It's not a bad thing to do. Just getting a little more flair into the game and making it not as abstract and you know, like 3D objects kind of stuff. Let's think about the bad side to it. Minus. It's not confusing like number 3, I'll say that. I'll say it's a little bit like this one here. Not quite as bad. Dougal! Hey, I don't think we've talked before. What's going on? It is pretty organized. I won't be humble about it. It is pretty organized. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Other things I would be more humble about, but yeah, it is organized. So one thing you could do is you create one folder for all your good code and another folder for all your bad code. And then you'll know which code is good and which is bad. No, don't. That's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see. So then, okay. So this option, let's slow down the gameplay. Go against dying. I'll show you. I'll give you a quick demo. I can come back to this. This is no big deal. Alright, so this game is called the Godkiller. And I'll go to a different level that's maybe more representative. That one's kind of... Alright, here's a good one. So this is a puzzle-solving adventure game. There's some story to it. You're in a conflict with God. You know, you died and you went to an afterlife, and God greets you, and He's got plans for you, but you don't really want to do the stuff He wants you to do. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And alright, so this level is kind of crazy. It's just a big old vertical thing. It's making all its musical notes as they step. Alright, so then there's like a lot of pushing around blocks. And blocks have letters on them. Oftentimes there's some goal related to the letters on the blocks. I can like push these blocks through these holes down here. It's very three-dimensional. there's stuff like you can move around, you can push blocks, you can also fling, which means it's a way of moving faster over greater distances. Now you can see some guys way down there at the bottom. They're enemies. I'll go down to meet them. Oops. I think I killed myself on my way down to meet them. There they are. Right now, in this level, the player is in a pacifist mode where she can't fight them. So they'll chase her around, but they only move when you do. If you want to get away from them faster, you use your flinging. So stuff like that. And let me give an example of puzzle solving on a level it doesn't take a long time to show it. Let's do okay, Hungry Altar. That's a good one. Okay, so there's a door here, or a letter gate, I call them, has the word first spelled on it. And the thing that you learn is that if there are any blocks any place in a level that spell the same thing on the gate will be closed. So you think, okay, I need to push those blocks around so they no longer spell first, and then that gate will open. But the trick here is you can't get into there, so you have to instead take this F block and push it onto this new element that I made recently called the altar. It will destroy all the F blocks in the level when I do that, which as a side effect opens up this door. So then you come up here and you say, okay, well there's another letter gate with the word second on it, and there's blocks off to the left and right that spell the word second. Then you got to figure out some routing to get this C block back down to the altar where we were just at. And it looks like this. So when you destroy anything in this game, it just gets reborn, including yourself. Blocks, they get reborn on top of these block pads that have the matching letter. So I pushed the X south onto the altar down here, and that caused, what did that cause? It caused all the X blocks to die in the level and get reborn here. You can use those extra X blocks to make a route to get the C block around this pillar. I realize this doesn't make too much sense, so I'm just trying to give you an idea of like the type of game it is. I pushed the C block onto the altar, and it destroyed all the C blocks, and I put them here, and then that gives you access to the second room. And that's the level exit right there. And there's more puzzles like that. So that's the gist of it. The thing I'm working on now is better ways to show the player's death that makes it clear but doesn't compromise on other parts of the game mechanics that are worthwhile in my mind. So I feel like the conclusion I'm coming to is I don't want this one. I don't want this one. I thought maybe I would, but then I'm like, it's just not getting me much. I think number 2 I should try to do in this session and see how I feel about it, because this one is pretty easy to try out. And it could, if I decide to, it could be used in conjunction with number 4, which is adding a little more artwork after you die to show the cause of death. But I'd rather try number 2 first, because it's a lot easier to try, and it might be all I need. So that's next. And there's some coding in front of me to accomplish that. So thinking about what I need to change. Okay, let's just take all this and make this part of the requirements, and I'll start listing out another set of options that are just the implementation of the requirements above. Okay, so let's say the first way that makes sense to do this, it might be the only way I consider. Piece has a weight turns before rebirth. Property. Okay, set to count based on type of death. Board updater. Update. If player piece has turns before rebirth greater than 0, then command just cause decrementing the count. That's pretty good, I think. That'll probably do it. The other thing I gotta do is use the restroom. A bathroom. In a private home, you say a bathroom. In a public place, you say a restroom. In a grade school, you say a lavatory. Alright, I'll be back. It won't be long. Here's the other thing I would say about this sort of 2D flavor art, like this stuff. It's cheap. What I mean by cheap is compared to all the other things that you could buy from different content providers, different contractors. This type of thing costs very little money. Like I could have this commissioned for $100. Programming? No, not that cheap. 3D stuff. On the low poly side, yeah, it's cheap like that. On the high poly side, no. Environment 3D, no. Music, no. Relatively cheap. So I'm inclined to find some excuses to add more artwork in this style, or not this particular style, but like a graphic novel style. I've got contacts with people that can do good work. Okay, but let's do this thing first. Okay, let's say number 2. Like number 1, but just have. And is in limbo property. Number 3. Let me take a look at the code for rebirthing things. Okay, board updater. Alright, let's see. I think this might be in death util. So we say die. Oh, this is actually going to be harder than I first thought. We say die. Okay. The birth eggs, they have this NQ for birth. Where's the code that updates the eggs to make things born? It's right here. Okay, it just goes through all the eggs and it says just make one of these things in here be born. Okay. my description here was a little bit wrong. Or it needs more. Egg, birth, checks and queued pieces and skips any with turns before rebirth, then 0. I think that's it. I just need to decide, is there some value in using like a Boolean as opposed to just setting a count? I think this has more meaning in the name than is in Limbo. Like I can figure out what's going to happen by looking at that. Although I might change to steps instead of turns. Let me just change this. It can be wait for rebirth. That's probably better. Then I get the advantage of the name that's tells me what's going to happen, and I don't have this sort of gold plating thing where like I've got some code here that maybe it would work with some things you want to be reborn a lot longer than others. I don't actually need that. It really is a Boolean thing. We're either going to wait for one turn or not. Let's do a number 3. As far as I know at this point. I do like to write code that is for the needs of the day, but able to be extended for the unknown needs of the future. But if you try to write code for unknown needs of the future, you just write bloat. There's no point. Just wait till you actually need it, and then here and there you might make concessions to future-proof designs. But it's no big deal if a year from now there's some enemy that's supposed to be born 10 turns later instead of 1. I could change it to the steps before rebirth. Okay, this one, entire scope, and number 1. This one minus coupling to coupling the weight to egg's birth, to birthing, bad separation of concerns, plus all the logic for waiting in one place. Maybe easier to understand later on. This one is just the opposite of these two. I'm going to go with number 2. Okay. I gotta think of one other thing. Going back to here. Okay. So let's say non-player deaths don't have any delays. Man, now do I want that to be a requirement? Or do I want to think about that as an option? So if you die, you've got a 1-turn delay. If the other creatures die, their deaths are different for some reason. That would be a departure from consistent treatment of death. Okay, I'm going to go up above and look at all these. So I think it's going to be one. I wouldn't mind trying it just to see what it's like with everything getting that same delay. Now I can revise it if I need to, but to start with, I'll just say everything gets wait for rebirth. Okay. I don't remember why I used protected on all of these. Oh, I know why. Because there's derived classes and I don't want to force them to have to fiddle around with all the accessors and stuff. Okay. 18 for birth. There we go. And I'll say I guess we gotta make some accessors for those. Death util. Yeah, actually. Okay. So iBirthable piece. Let's update that. We'll have it just include okay. Then go back to death util. We'll say and then inside of the egg, birth. There it is. This gets a little bit trickier. Okay, so there's that, and then inside of yeah, okay, could do it. Do it down here. Okay. This might work like the first time. I'll be happy if it does, but there's probably like a 20% chance it works the first time. It's not bad. Let's do some other levels. Okay, missing particles there, but otherwise good. Man, I kind of like that delay, that one turn delay. Okay, we're missing some particles. But it kept the camera down there. That was cool. There's some bugs to work out, but generally I like this. Like, you shouldn't be able to do flinging stuff over here. Makes the game a lot better. Gonna get those particles back in, but other than that, not bad, not bad. All right, let me try some other cases. In fact, let me just go through these. Which ones have I hit? So I did check. I think I did that. Spikes landed on you. Did that one. Didn't do that one yet. I think I did that one. Okay. Let us... Let's go to... something with maybe where you can fall into out of bounds. Okay, let's do that. I think this one might have a problem. I think it's just gonna hold me down there. Disappeared then, which is good. The bad thing is the camera's down there, so I'll have to make sure all the levels where you can fall that way got some reasonable way to reasonable place for the camera to stop. Some kind of exception there that might be important. Okay, what else? I like the one-turn delay for the enemies too. It just gives you just not so much going on all at one time. To have the enemy die and be born on the exact same turn is overwhelming. Okay, let me start making notes of things that need to happen. Okay, this is going to work. All this stuff is going to work. Okay, so we'll say just need particle explosions on falling death, spikes, I used to have them. I don't know what happened. It might be like a glitch on certain levels. Yeah, I totally used to have them. Let me see if the other dudes are missing their particle explosions. No, they got them. Disable flinging. Okay, let me go to a level that's just got a ton of death in it. Quelling field. I love that. That's really good because it's showing where you land after you get hit, and now you can kind of get it. Now you can kind of see what's going on. This is a lot better than what I had. let's find the remaining cases. For that, I think I'm going to have to go to one of my test levels. Okay, what do I got here? This is kind of junky looking. I might just get rid of that. Oops. So fall in there and die. That's one case. I don't think I need the beard. Let's just get rid of you. And another case is getting killed by spikes on the axle. Which I think is just another way of getting spiked, but let me just make sure it works well. Okay. There was some other way. Flinging onto an altar, falling onto an altar. Let's turn the predictions on. Curious, did I lose player exploder? No. What happened to the player exploder? Oh, I got an idea what it might be. Don't organize. Okay, that's probably it right there. Cancel. The other thing that should be happening is all this stuff is ignored by raycasting. The other thing that should be happening is none of this stuff has colliders. Okay. Save. Now if I look at the player, yeah, that's what happened. When I unpacked the player, my scene organization code stripped out the player splitter because I didn't have that don't organize flag set. So I should be able to get my death particles back in pretty easily. Let's go bring a new player right here. We will unpack her. I'm still not seeing the sploder. No, that's right. It's not attached to her. It's in the pool. So that idea for a fix was not correct. Okay. No problem. That did get my particles back. Okay, that's one time where the effect doesn't work so great. Okay, let's get a few comments here. Let's see. Okay, books. What else? No moves left is taking an extra turn. I don't know if I do have a death for just falling straight down on top. I think I do. I don't know why that disappeared on me. Oh. It's a pop ball, that's why. Don't want a pop ball. Huh. I didn't cover it this way on purpose, but there's a pretty decent side effect. So the walk guide shows where you can walk next. And just by accident, the way I coded everything, is showing the walk guide just east of your position here where you would be born next. And it's showing the place where you died. How lucky am I to just have that code show those two locations? Yeah, it's highlighting where you died and where you're going to. And I didn't even write that code to work that way. It just happened to. I don't know why, but it's fine. I like it. Okay, there's one thing I don't like there. Okay, I think I got all the bugs, and it's just time to go through and fix them all. I'm gonna get into some comfy pants instead of my work pants. Be right back. Get in some bug fixing pants. Back to it, back to it. Let me think. Which one to fix first? I'm a fan of doing the hardest thing first, as long as you got some juice in the brain. Let me check one other case with the axles. I had 2 axles, it didn't rotate either one. Okay, let me see this. What if I come and kill myself here, though? Well, then it's not rotating. Why would it not? I bet it's a floating point thing. Okay, let's do this. Well, now I'm not reproducing the bug I had. If I go there. Did the second axle cause weirdness? Now it's working perfect. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Does it have to do with the bottom spike? Let me do the top one again. Sometimes it does it, sometimes not. That feels like floating point to me. Be nice to be able to reproduce it consistently. Just gonna keep on doing this. What's the pattern? What is the pattern? Okay, there's my theory. It has to do with me pressing left instead of a different direction. So let's go left. Let's go right. No. Right. Left as though I were pushing against the axle. That's probably something like that. So I push west. In my mind, I'm like over here, far away from this axle, waiting to be born. Something else is going on there. Okay. Okay. So I'm still able to act on the world like a ghost of some sort in this location. So when I I push, I think it is actually moving me into that square, but all the other stuff that happens puts me immediately into this next location. This is probably also why I've got these different squares here. Oh, I got it. Okay. This square is the center square that always shows my current location. This is all four of the predictions lining up where I will go. So if I move west, I'm going to go over here. If I move north, I'm going to go over here. So that's why it's brighter than this one right here. I am at this location. My commands are not entirely disabled. I can still act on the world. So for me to fix this bug, what I need to do is not allow the command to act upon the world. Okay, let's fix that. I was going to change the command type to wait, but I think it's better to instead do this. Yeah, let's see what that does. Didn't work. Didn't break anything. I guess that's worth something. Yeah, I just don't want you to be able to affect anything when you're in that dead state. So, here the player piece should be waiting for birth. Oh, this is important. The commands that the player issues to restart are important to record for the mid-game state. So let's take this out. Okay, so if I look at fling or walk, I could put some logic in there that doesn't do anything. Let's take a look at piece. No, not that one. Okay, this is all going to be inside of these utils. Let's do that. Okay, then fling util, same deal. See if this works. Dang it. Why does that... Why? How can that be possible? I gotta set some breakpoints. Walk util right here. This is where... No, don't. Just give me my breakpoint. There we go. Okay, debug. Nope, not date. Okay, you're already running. Cool. Okay, you're not waiting for birth. the predictives. I do need to remember to copy this across, though, for the predictives. Okay. See, here I would have thought you'd be dead. And waiting for birth. Oh, not yet. You gotta die first. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, now, if I go west. Okay, that's the main one. False? Is alive is false. I got it. I got it. Because I died on the last step. I died. I was enqueued in the birth egg. The birth function looked at me in the queue and said, "You're not ready. You're still waiting, but you'll be ready next turn." It's set waiting for birth to true. Or false. It set it to false. So at this point, I'm no longer waiting for birth. I'm going to get born. So I can't use that to check. But I do notice that is alive is false. And I can probably just use that. So let's do this. I don't know what that's about. What? Is this a mid-level restore? What did it do? It's got me over here on top of this guy? What? What? I do not know what that is. Let's go look at the main object. No, nothing's there. Try that again, because that was real strange. I have no explanation for it. Just was wondering if that was like a... No? Huh. You're putting me right there on the altar for some reason. How the hell did I get there? I'm just gonna move you over here. It probably played back a mid-level save, but I'm not actually in a good spot for that. So let's... Huh. I have no explanation for that. So how could these things have anything to do with it? Piece starts out alive. Huh? Did this guy start here? Well, let me start that up again. I want to see if the player's moving. There is some movement. Okay. So that probably accounts for the death. I do think I need something like when loading, not when loading a level, when starting a level, if the scene name doesn't match whatever the player's current state thing is, just clear the mid-level state so we don't have any nonsense there. Okay, let me fix that, because that's a separate bug that's probably even going to bother me more than this other one I'm trying to fix. So let's go to main object. Okay. So let's write that. That sounds a little bit Actually, I could use this function and then just add some logic here. Back to main object. Yeah, screw that. Okay, I want to see the player starting here. Good. All right, that fixed that problem. So the next thing is, let's see what's the deal with the death with if I go to the walk util. Let's say if piece is stunned or not piece. Oh, I know what it is. You do have to walk when you're dead. Your first step out of the egg is walking. I think that's it. So let's put that there for now. Let's go egg piece. This I'm happy with. There's gonna be some called set alive and unstun. No, here it's true. I thought for sure this would like come after the walk, and that would cause this new function call to say you cannot be walking out there. All right, let's see if it's requiring The Walking Dead. Okay, enough of this maximize. Let's get serious about debugging things. Okay, I'm stuck there. I cannot walk. I am dead. I cannot walk. Me being dead somehow needs somehow affects my ability to be born. Me being dead and being unable to walk somehow affects my ability to be born. Okay, let's try this. Or actually down here, let's do this. Okay. Come on. No birth? Let's see. So birth code doesn't get called. That has something to do with the board update. Yeah, so we say if the player couldn't move, we add the block command. We don't let anything update beyond that. That kind of makes sense, and I probably shouldn't break that. So the thing I could do is use this wait command. I don't even know why. What did I use this for? What was the point of it? What did I originally create it for? That's it? Oh, wait. I think I created it, but I didn't run any logic around it. Other than this check here. Now I do have these kind of commands that get saved. I have a filter on command type none. I don't want to break things by making these changes to get you know, my death to work how I like. So let's be a little cautious, but I don't think there's anything else that's going to be affected by this. So what I could do, go back to walk, remove this, say we're not going to use walk to get past that whole that death delay thing. We will say that okay, so we'll say if player piece is alive. If not, player piece is alive. Command type equals command type. Wait. Might as well move this up here. Oh wait, no, you want it down here after the results of this. Okay. That doesn't look promising. It's got all the predictions on the same square, me dying again. And yet it worked. Huh. Oh, I know why. It's not showing me where I'm going to end up at, but I don't know. I think I might take it. Okay, is it always going to put me up north? No, okay, it's rotating. Cool. Okay, so this might be it. That's kind of cool. It looked like it did something weird there, though. Oh, no, I know what it did. Okay. It just rotated back to the reset. Which could be a little bit confusing, but it does make sense. There's that double thing to see if I can fix. I did get the axles fixed. It is a little more sensible how it works. I'm a little sad that I don't have the prediction going off to the egg anymore, but I could fiddle with that later if I want. This doesn't feel like a bug. Okay. Yeah, there we've got the walk square. I think I might stop with this idea that I'm just gonna inherit some nice visuals from the behavior of the guide. So I got lucky and it sort of showed the right thing in one circumstance, and I didn't intentionally craft it, and as I do start intentionally crafting other parts of the code to handle the death the right way, it kind of breaks what the squares do. Probably the best approach is to not show the guide if the player's not alive. At least to start with. I don't know, I do kind of like leaving the death marker there. Like maybe I might hide the walk squares, show the death thing. I think if I start fixing other things, the guide will change around even more. I'll do the guide last. I think I know that much. Because as I keep changing things, what the guide does is going to change as well. So let's start clearing out some of this stuff. I somehow did get the particle explosions working, I think, just by going to different levels. So that kind of implies to me that the levels where it's not working, I probably have like a fix to do on the main object, dragging over prefab or something along those lines into the inspector. Okay, but I'll leave particle explosions and falling death, because that one I know I didn't write anything specifically for it. Okay, these, that's fixed. Okay. Which is the most important one to do next? I think disable the flinging. Maybe the guide too, maybe just all of it. Alright, let's put this in order. Put harder ones first. And the guide stuff I'd like to do last. I think it'll be more efficient. Okay, flinging takes camera to end of fling instead of place of death. I think this one. Probably it's inside of here. Move to. Yeah. Fucking. I get concentrated real heavy, and then I get a text or something that just freaks my shit out. Okay. Let's try this. So instead of letting the piece just go all the way to the end of the fling, can break out of it. Let's see if that does it. That might do it right there. I can add some more spikes here to give myself a better playground. Okay, try that. Texting. Okay, so the camera did stop at the place of death. I think it's keeping the piece's location at the beginning. I guess I kind of want to see if, yeah, you know, this is not bad. This is not bad because the camera's here. That was what was important to me. The guide, I may end up just hiding it altogether or just taking explicit control of it to say what I'm going to show instead of relying on the passcode to figure out what it's going to show. Okay, this seems pretty decent. Okay, one down. what, I think 3 to go. That's right. Falling Death. Let's make it possible. To fall a long distance. Then let's go look at there's going to be some effect. Then I want, let's see. Do I have a downward one? That would be cool if I did. There's the ceiling bonk one, which I haven't used. Let's just try that for now. Okay, this will be player piece. Give this a 50% chance of working. Also, I want to arrange this in the order that it actually happens, just to make it a little more easy to maintain. Stupid height map. I should say stupid Unity collider detection. Boom, preprocess, and let's do it again. That doesn't look good. There's another way I could do it. I could make it work like the old one did. Which is, let's see, so we say, false. Just have it instantly restart. Don't worry about the particle effects and all that. And that way I liked. If I'm honest with myself, I think I probably prefer that than having the camera just kind of sit there and show the player some part of the level I didn't really design to be looked at for lengthy amounts of time. Let me see if this will do it. Nope, it's not doing it. Think about that. Okay, maybe this is not the right place to put this. Let's have it go in the infinite fall thing. Piece fill effect. Got it. I know why. Because I set it inside of the effect. But it needs to be set later. So I've got two options. There's probably more than that, but one option is wait for the effect to be performed before setting that flag. The other is in the calling code that creates this this effect, that after I call die, which is the first thing that sets the you have to wait to be born flag. I would clear that flag. So both things I don't like for different reasons. In the first case, I'm holding on to some logic, and it's like this piece thing here is from the logical state. I don't generally do anything inside of the effects that updates state of the pieces. Okay, now I said that out loud, I actually know that it's going to be a deal breaker for making a change to the piece's state inside of here. Because these things run in a headless mode, and if I get out of sync in the board state, it's going to fuck everything up. So the headless mode needs to run the same way as the non-headless mode. In headless mode, effect code never runs. So depending upon effect code to update the board state, which is purely logical, not presentational, is going to cause issues. So that means let's go to fall util and do it the other way. And I didn't like this way because it seems to be coupling presentation with logic, but of the two options, this one's much better. Okay. So we say die here, and then we say reset piece. Piece. You know, I can include it inside of this code as well. False. Okay, so let's go to death util die. Wait one step for birth. Okay. Then I just build everything to find all the code I need to change. This should also allow me to fix the other place. Okay, stop and build. So it'll be all kinds of syntax errors, and I'll just go fix them all. Check for death touch piece add. Okay, true. Oh, I gotta go back to this. Should be for infinite depth. It should be false. Okay. This guy. True. Okay, then here I gotta make the same kind of pass through. So we'll go. Dang it. Now we'll have the same kind of compile and find all the things to fix. Approach. Many, many, many. Okay, this is another thing to fix. Let's see. So we say false on this one. Do I really need to call player piece die? Yeah, I don't really need to. I could use death util die and then pass player piece false board effects. Okay, and okay, is anything actually overriding die? Suppose I take out the virtual. What happens? Because I'm inclined to say if nothing is overriding die. Looking through, oh, here's one maybe. Nope. Okay, I'll look at each piece. Yeah, there's no override. Block piece, is there an override? There is no override. Okay. I just don't need it. Yeah, it would give me a different error if there was like an override without a virtual. So I can go back to piece and I can just delete this. Okay. Yeah. All right. We go here and we say def util die. Key thing is not to introduce a bug here. I gotta pay attention particularly to the name of the piece. Push piece in this case, not piece, which would totally fuck things up. We definitely don't want to introduce that. Okay, alter piece. Okay. How am I doing? Oh, just a few more. Okay. See if that builds. It builds. Let's see if that regresses. See if it holds up. I did not mean to make all those code changes while the thing was playing. Let's start that over. Okay, that is good behavior. We'll need to remove that unwanted particle effect at the end. That's good behavior. I fixed another bug that was on my list there. Okay, so let's make sure that the fall effect, piece fell effect, no longer has the particle stuff on it. Okay. Delete that. Okay, let me go to bothering me. Close everything to the right. Okay. Got this. I did it in a different way. Okay, fix that. Let's see what we can do there. Well, if it's definitely the player piece, let's just cast it to the player piece. That was easy. disable all this stuff. Let's say if player piece is alive, go ahead and predict. Otherwise, I don't want to make predictions. Our commands disable. I should piggyback off of this. We say if it's inactive, okay, let's see, who calls this? No. Yeah, just go up here. Okay. Let me try it just with the fling disabled and see what that's like. Let me see if I've just got the fling disabled, because that would be pretty good and maybe a starting point for looking at other things. Come over here. Really? What? How do you figure? Maybe because I turned off the predictions. Succeeded in disabling the flame. Let me turn the predictions back on and just see what they do. They probably will not look good in all the different situations. Here's the thing though. The only thing missing there to get the death thing right on top of where I died is to move the player transform. To the point of death. Because this guy's up here, I could move it right down here, I'd have everything. I'd have everything. Let me see if I can do that, because that would be it. That'd be all the stuff. That would be victory. I'm gonna take this out. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so it was in piece util. And it was moved to. I had this new code here which says we're going to kill you there. There is a thing though that, like, if you die, you still want to fling to that location. So this is actually not just fixing that little death animation. It's also I want to have some flinging happen. Okay, it will move player to there. Where is the part where it's going to set it? So if I go to fling util, here it's returning. Piece flung effect. So we could say if we're going to die along the way, let's say from C to wherever we're at right now, because that move to is going to set it someplace. Okay, piece. Get row. So I'm going to go back to piece util. Just leave this as it is. This should be totally decoupled from how things are presented with type of movement. I think it is possible for it to generate some effects, but it should not do anything over related to how the piece moves. Okay, but in Fling, which called this, now it's going to say, okay, if you died, hey, Matisa queer. I thought you might be Mateo. What happened to your old handle? It's going pretty decent. You're catching me at the very tail end of my stream here. I want to tell you that, so if I disappear in a few minutes, you don't think it's because you joined. How's stuff going with you? How'd your project go? You had that exam, or not like a final, or with your game. All right, let's see. So if I fling this way, I think I got it. I think I sorted this out. So I fixed today my deaths so that they will show where you died. It's a lot easier to figure out what's going on. Then you start. All right, that is victory. All right. That is everything working how I wanted it to. So the way it used to work, I'll demo a little bit, was that you would instantly be reborn over here, but then you can't really sometimes understand why you died. So it makes it a lot harder to understand the game. So I made it so it waits one turn before you restart. I'll go to a decent level. Yes. All right. So if I go north, it used to be I just flip right up to the egg again, but now it's you died. I might add a little more flair there. I might have a better animation or something, but for now, you know, it's showing where you died, and then you can start. Yeah. They're called beards. They just chase you around. Later on, you get to push them back. They have a lot of the same abilities as you, but you're a little different than them. So if I go east, he's going to push me against the wall. Or let's see, south. Okay, so he pushed me over here. I don't know why these are over here. I'll have to fix that tomorrow, maybe. I think this stuff shouldn't be over there. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let me just make a note of that. Yeah, I'll just say also test mid-level restore. Make sure it still works. There might be a bug in it, but I don't want to see it tonight. Okay. See, okay. Twitch today, after so many days, you don't see the game has much. I say mucho. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've got pretty much all the levels in the game now. So there's the first one. And there's 56 levels now. I might do a few more, but not many more. So I can show you something. There's a nice one. Takes a long time to load inside Unity. Yeah, sure, but like which part though? So the level selector. I'll show it to you in a second. So let's see. Yeah, it's rotating slightly. First I had it rotating maybe a little too fast. It'll make you sick. It'll make you sick if it rotates too fast, but a little bit like this is not bad. So anyways, here I'll show you how I do the shader. Yeah, not the background. The background down here is just a surface. There's a shader for the outlines, and then yeah, the clouds have like a shader that helps them be displayed a little bit nicer. But anyways, here I'll show you how the level selector is built. So it gets its own scene, like it's in a separate scene from the level. Okay. So inside the editor, there's these prefabs that put the thing together. So I've got one for the south end. You know, let's see if I can pull it out. So the south end cap, you know, like that. And then all these ones in the middle, they're all the same piece repeated. And there's an end cap on the north side. If the number of levels changes, like say I want there to be 4 levels and I just rebuild it, it's 4, but it has to match like however many levels I have, so I'll put it back to 56. Okay. So when it starts up, these are lazy loaded. I'm not sure if you know the term, but it'll load the thumbnails when it needs them. So it doesn't load all the thumbnails at one time. It just loads them kind of fast as you travel up and down. And then for the movement, there's just a acceleration tracking. The part where it kind of zooms in as the level loads, there's actually a little tunnel here that goes behind. So each one of these has its own tunnel, which is kind of wasteful, but it's not enough polygons that it matters. There's just not that many. So yeah, it works pretty good. But I'm about ready to take off. I gotta go eat some food with my wife. When you enter into the cube. Okay. Yes, it is. Yeah. That part is actually a little bit hard to get it to go well. So I'll show you the code for that. Okay, so then on top of everything, there's a canvas, and it goes opaque, and that makes everything black, and then it brings it up. But when it comes here, it's in a different scene. The level selector's gone, unloaded. Okay. So then the code for selecting a level, it's a little complicated, but the scene loader. Yeah, it is a little complicated. Okay, so then you select the level, it plays a sound effect. The screen fader, it will do some stuff. The screen fader is just that canvas that goes over the top of everything I was telling you about. It makes it fade to black. It does some movement of the transforms to make you go down the tunnel. It's just transform stuff. This is calling underneath this call. It's just a normal Unity scene load, but it's got a callback specified for progress. So this update level selection animation, that's a callback. So when I go up to this function, Unity calls this a number of times with progress. But here's the tricky part, right? I'll tell you, this is maybe the hardest thing for me to figure out. This Unity callback is not smooth at all. It's not smooth. It might call 2 times, 3 times. You cannot rely on it to make your animation update. So this code here, it only updates the variables that are used for the animation. It doesn't really do the animation. Some other code that runs on the update loop will make it continue to go down. Otherwise, it'll just look too coarse, too choppy. It won't look right at all if you just only use the progress callback. So that's maybe the hardest part of the whole thing. Oh, all right, Matteo. I am happy to see you again, sir. I'm gonna take off though. I gotta go get some food with my wife and all. But I hope to run into you again. All right. Have a good night, sir. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Buenas noches.